Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my top 100 games of all times 2026 edition. And so here we're going to see from number 60 to 41. And let's get started. Number 60, we have a new entry, and this is Guards of Atlantis 2. This is like a mobile type of a game. You are divided in two teams with big miniatures that you fight each other, try to kill the minions of the opponents or their main characters and do this at the specific number of times and you win the game. Each character is very different. You can upgrade your deck. You have a very cool upgrading system that keep the game always interesting and exciting. Lots of replay by I played this quite a bit this year with different characters. It's always a lot of fun. I'm so glad to have tried it and played it on number 60. Guards of Atlantis 2. At number 59, we have a game that was 63 last year. This is a two-player only game, and this is Noir, deductive mystery game. In this game, one player is playing the killer, and the other one is the detective. And the characters are all in I think, a 5x5 grid. The killer can simply kill anyone around them by flipping the card on the board. The detective can capture the killer by just pointing at any character surrounding them. And you have special action. You can move the card. You can shift them up and down the color row. And so the game is all about figuring out where the killer is because when you see someone dying, you know that the killer is around them. But at the same time, you need to go close to the killer, but you don't want to be too apparent to indicate who you are as a detective. Otherwise, you may be killed. Very nice back and forth. I know there are many different ways to play this game. I always play a two, and it's the best one. At number 59, Noir. At number 58, we have Ratus, and I'm putting here the big box because this is what I have. Ratus is a very tactical interactive game. On your turn, you need to place your own people around Europe and try to make them survive. And after that, you move the plague and will potentially kill some people. And in addition to that, you can get some special cards that will give you some special powers, can protect you or put more people on the board. But sometimes actually the special power punishes you because the plague is affecting the people that have those special powers. Very, very interactive. It's not for everyone because it can be very mean. The person can be, for some whatever reason, target or, nothing goes in the way you want it. But because this wing and the things that can happen are so dramatic, someone that has no pawn on the board at the last two rounds can have so many, or everyone else dies as well. And you may actually win with few of them on the board. Very, very fun. This is Ratus. Number 57, we have a game that was 55 last year. This is Path of Civilization. This game is engine building. You have a small end of cards and you need to play to get some resources, use those resources to go up tracks, to buy other cards that give you bonuses. And you also see and round goals that you want to try to achieve because those will score you lots of points. It's very, very fun. I like going up to those tracks. I like those kind of points, feeling of it. It's not a looker because they use the AI art, but I really don't care. It's a very fun game. Path of Civilization. 56, we have another new entry, and this is Come Sail Away! Exclamation mark. In Come Sail Away, you represent a cruise and you are accepting passengers on your cruise and you want to allocate them where they want to go and or in specific places. And the way you do it is by playing a card that will tell you how many passenger, which color passenger you're going to take, and then you're going to drop them around your board in a Mancala fashion. So one by one, dropping without skipping places. If you place it in the cabin of their matching color, and if they have a suitcase, you can get extra bonus and the luggage bonus on the top. You can unlock new location to place more tiles. There is also a race to complete common tiles that will get you more points. It's a little bit solitaire because you do your own stuff and you're just racing for goals, but it's a very neat puzzle there. It lasts 20 minutes. It is very relaxing at the end of the day. I like it playing with my wife. It's very, very cool, very great components. 56, Come Sail Away. Number 55, we have another big drop and this is Century Spice Road. I don't know why it dropped. Honestly, I like this game a lot. I every time maybe because I just struggle to put it out of the shelf, or because maybe I want to play more modern stuff. But when it hits on the table, it's so addicting. It just goes so fast, and you make those combos to get the resources, convert a resource, and those resources to get you the points. And then as soon as you get 4 or 5 scoring cards, you close the game. Then the game is over. And so there's all that tension. You race? Do you go for the big scoring cards? Very, very fun. I really, really like that engine mechanism. And number 55, Century Spice Run. At number 54, we have my Cascadia Killer. And this is also a new entry to the list. And it's funny, the Cascadia is a new entry, and after almost a year was replaced by a game that I think is better. And this is Rainforest City. Rainforest City, you have a very similar concept like Cascadia. You take a card, rather than a tile, you have a card with several biomes or several habitats, and you need to place it in front of you with usual placement conditions. On top of that, you may also get cards that will give you animals, fauna, and you need to rotate the cards and see how they're going to land specifically on the location to allow you to score points. So there's that kind of puzzle. Not only you need to figure out how to place the land tiles, so the floor, the terrain tiles like you do in the Cascadia, but also you need to figure out how to rotate the card to allocate the tokens from that card on your board. In Cascadia, you have only one token, so it's very easy. In the Rainforest City, you have a card that maybe shows 3 animal tokens in an L-shaped fashion, and you need to find an L-shaped position to place it. So there's an additional puzzle in your mind that is going on, which I really find entertaining and engaging. And that's why Rainforest City is at number 54. Number 53, we have a game that was 56 last year, essentially didn't change much, and this is Tapestry. The more I play this game, the more I like it. I think it's that kind of game that if you ask me to make the top 10 games that I start loving them the more I played it, this is number one, Tapestry. The first game, I despised it, but I played it again and I start liking it more and more and more. In Tapestry, you have lots of tracks. So there's a race to go up the tracks. There is resource management. And what I like is something that Ever does, which is you can, if you are good enough to maximize every turn you do, you can be later in the game in your civilization, but actually you are doing better because time is very precious in this game. There is some combat-ish area control, which is minimal, but really it's racing for the tracks, getting those civilization cards with upgrades and stuff. Really, really fun. Number 53, Tapestry. Number 52, we have a new entry, and this is Fracture Sky. Fracture Sky is an area control set collection type of game. The way you do it is by placing your airships on the board. You can place only 3 of them. And when you place them, you put some sort of bidding chips at the bottom. So it's how strong you are going to be in that location. So you know how strong you're going to be, but your opponents don't know. And so it's all about trying to figure out which area the opponents are trying to gather. There's also some gems that are going to spawn on the board that will actually get you the most points out of it, but you don't know where the gems are. You can pick some cards that will hint you where the locations are. So if I see Matt picking at one card and then going to a specific location, what did he see? Is he going there because he knows there's going to be a gem? So I should raise or just bluffing to then go to another place and use me to go there, and then actually the gem is somewhere else. So there is a little bit of that. Very, very fun. This is 52, Fracture Sky. Number 51, we have a party social deduction game, and this is Deception Murder in Hong Kong. It was 87 last year. This year raised a little bit more because I played it during the Christmas break. In Deception Murder of Hong Kong, you have forensic scientists who is trying to guide everyone except one to identify who the killer is. One of the people around the table is the killer. And every player in front of them has 2 type of cards. Some cards indicate the murder weapon. Sometimes some other cards indicate the motive. The killer, when everyone has their eyes closed, indicate to the forensic scientist which one is the weapon for the motive and one is the murder weapon. And so the forensic scientist, what he does, it just indicates some keywords on some boards and try to hint and help those people to figure out. It sounds easy, but it's not, because there are so many objects. Some of them are very similar, And sometimes the keywords don't help the forensic scientist. So there is lots of talking. Yes, it's a little bit fragile in terms of the forensic scientist, although cannot talk, he needs to game master the round, otherwise it can drag forever. So if you do that, then the game is very snappy, very quick. I like how people that usually are more shy in type of games just bright up. They just this game bring them something that have never seen it before. And for this reason, is a number 51 in this list. Number 50, we have another new entry, and this is The Last Light. Last Light is a fast-paced 4X game. Last year, we had Forbidden Stars, a very nice 4X and combat type of game. Last Light does similar to that, but in a fraction of the time, or Twilight Imperium in a fraction of the time. You have exploration, you have resource management, beautiful component. And something that I really like in games is that you have a deck of cards that represent all the possible action that you do. You play one card that indicates the action that you're going to take. But you cannot play that card again until you play the card that allows you to draw them all back in. And so there is that kind of when to draw all the cards back in, because drawing cards back in is always now kind of a pass or less interesting action. So you want to maximize that. And I found it very, very cool. Plus the space team, there's our number 50, Last Light. My number 49, we have a game was the 26 last year. It is in Maglev Metro. Maglev Metro, you are building the metro area of Berlin or London, I believe, and you use nice transparent hexagon tiles that really, when you place them and you stack them on, they look like a subway map. It's a pick up and delivery game. You pick up some passenger, you deliver on the location that they want to be. And when you do that, you can use the passenger to upgrade your train, make it better, make it more efficient. Very interesting logistic puzzle. Very interactive. I really, really like it. It looks beautiful. It dropped a bit because I haven't played it that much, but I'm very confident that if I play it again in this year, it will go back up again. Number 49, Maglev Metro. Number 48, we have a game that was 65 last year. This is a game that is really dear to my heart, and is CV. I like the theme of CV, that you start like a little toddler and you develop your teenage adulthood, and then when you become elder, you try to see, what you've done and all the achievement you've done in your story. Essentially, it's a set collection game where the more cards you have on one color, the higher is the multiplier at the end of the game. And the way you do it is by rolling dice, and each die has an icon, and you try to match those icons to get the card. Very, very simple. But the story that is told in each game is always so charming and it plays well. It's so fun, especially a two-player. That's why this is so high in the list. Number 48, CV. Number 47, we have a party-ish game. It was 61 last year. It's a little bit difficult to bring it to the table because it's only for four people, and this is Witness. In Witness, all the four players trying cooperatively to solve mystery. Everyone get a booklet with a piece of information to solve the mystery, and on each turn, people can whisper that information to another person at the ear. And then they can do that and change it person to person. So you try to listen, like a broken phone, the person that is telling you, but not all the informations get transmitted very clearly. Hat becomes a cap, or a cat, or goat becomes a coat, things like that. Very, very fun. Very, very hard. If you try the hardest mission, it's very hard because of those lost communication. But it's so fun. Number 47, Witness. Number 46, we have an auction game. It was 57 last year, and this is Ra. In Ra, you have three chips to bid. So some tiles, and tiles will score you points or set collection or other things that you can do. But the cool thing is you bid with your tile. Is if you win, you give up that bid tile and you grab whatever left from the previous round. So that prevents the player to steamroll all the opponents, because the highest tile or the highest bid eventually will be given up to other people. But there is also the tension of, you draw tiles from a bag and you're going to bid on that set. So are you going to wait before start the bidding, or you're going to call Ra to start the bidding right away, but you can also bust it if you wait too long. Really, really like very simple game to teach Now the new version is outstanding. I think this game is going to stay here for long. Number 46, Rock. 45, we have a new game, and this is Aqua Garden. Aqua Garden is a gorgeous looking game. But what I like about this game is the main board that has a rondel mechanism, meaning that your pawn, which essentially will pick up the fish that you're going to put in your aquarium, can go as far as you want, but then it's always the last person to go again around after that. So you can go very far to grab the manta ray that you really need or you really want, but then you're gonna have to wait for many turns. So it's all about optimizing. It's not a game that plays very well at two for good reason because you essentially people will play just the next stop. Maybe there's gonna be small jumps, but a three or four, it's a fantastic little puzzle. Beautiful components that always help and help also to bring it to the table to new folks because they're just amazed by the components. Number 45, Aqua Garden. Number 44, we have a party game. It was 25 last year, and this is Detective Club. In Detective Club, you give two cards to each player, and then you give a keyword to each player except one. And then players will select one card to play and put it in the center, and then we need to discuss why they picked that card after that the keyword is revealed. And so you're trying to figure out who is the person that doesn't know the keyword and trying to come up with weird explanation why the card is played there. It doesn't perhaps doesn't match absolutely anything about the keyword. Sometimes you don't get a card that matches. And so that is the tension of the game. That is the core of the game, trying to justify and make yourself believable and say, this is really the closest things that I was able to come up. I really have those two cards and they don't match the keyword that you gave it to me. Are you bluffing or you're telling the truth? Lots of meta game as well. It's a game that I always bring with new folks because it triggers talking, it triggers laugh, and it's not too hard on people that they don't like to lie because of the element. Just simply can say, this is the card that I had and I couldn't do better than that. And number 44, Detective Club. Number 43, we have also a new entry, and this is Bricola Heads. Bricola Heads is brass for two player. You are building routes to bring fans to show off your Kikai, this amazing 3D structure with three pieces that will score you points. And also, they will fuel your engine. If you have fans visiting, you can have rewards that will fuel your engine. You need to construct your routes in a very clever way. Otherwise, you may be blocked off by your opponents. You need to pay to use their routes. There are some communal goals. I like that the game can end in two different ways. Can answer with who has the most points, or if you can place all your advertisement tokens on the board, so 7 of them. So if you clear up 7 area of the board from all the people, then you win the game. And I like that tension. I like also how tight the actions are, how much you want to squeeze from each of your turn. Really, really fun game. Brass is a fine game. It just I don't like the look of it, and I don't like the length. This is a more whimsical look. I like it more to look. I like the theme, and he plays in 1 hour and 90 minutes. And for this reason, is in the list. 43, Bricolage Heads. Number 42, we have Orapa Mine. This is also one of the best games I played in 2025. Orapa Mine is a deduction game for two players. You place some color shape token on your board on a grid with letters and numbers, and so your opponent. And what you're trying to do is trying to figure out how your opponents have located their tokens. And in the way you do it is not naming a row or a column. And what you do, you manage to have a colorless beam of light, and that beam of light will hit the color pieces, maybe will be deflected. And based on the shade that comes out and where it comes out, you can tell whether it hit the blue and yellow, if it comes out green, for example. And if you have where it goes, you may predict or figure out how many angles had hit board. Very fun. It plays in 20 minutes. It's a puzzle that I really want to go again and again after I play it. Fantastic little pocket size as well. Number 42, Orapamai. And number 41, we also have a series of games. Every time they come out with one new set each year, I'm always excited. And this is Unlock. Unlock nowadays is releasing a set of 3. where you have three deck of cards, you use an app, and you do some sort of escape room. And I really like how they integrate the cards with the app. The cards don't usually get destroyed. You need to just see them in different way because of now the technology. You can see a card with naked eye. When you put on the camera, it changes. You need to do whimsical things with microphone and other stuff. They always come out with clever ideas. Really something that this is compared to Axie, for example. Axie, I think they saturated the type of things that can do. With obviously with the cell phone, with essentially can be options are limitless. And a deck of card every time they are blowing my mind. For this reason, Unlock is at number 41. And here you have it from number 60 to 41. If you like this series, please don't forget to like it, share with your friends. You know the drill. This is not your first YouTube video, am I right? Thank you very much and see you next time. Ciao.